Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode I Didn't Look It Up of the Words About Games podcast. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm joined this week by Mr. Daffin Moody.
It's the case extravaganza review show, appreciation show thing.
Cool. Do you know what episode number it is?
I haven't got a fucking clue. Oh, actually.
Because you like...
I have got the show notes, though. 2 weeks ago was 354, so this should be 356.
Okay. It's episode 356, probably, of the Words About Games podcast.
Maybe. Could be.
Moody said thing.
I said a thing.
Say the thing. Don't make me say it.
It's Friday. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. It's time to literally talk video game day. And showcase day.
Video game week. It's time to talk about all of the video games, or some of them, because I turned a light on for each console manufacturer that turned up this past week. And as you can see, it's a bit dull back there.
Sony showed up.
No, they didn't. Just because they have fucking a release date. Like, that doesn't count. One guy from Sony walks out on the stage and goes, October 20th, guys, and then walks off again. Doesn't count. I'm vetoing that.
But I was right that they were going to be at the show, so we can't stress. I called that spot on. Along with a Star Trek game.
I never argued with you. And I had a Star Trek game on my list as well. But then you said it. You said, oh, they're going to do a Star Trek game. And I was like, I'm going to be more specific, because why the fuck not? You know, I was wrong.
Yeah, I don't like being specific.
Ubisoft let me down. Yeah, but the thing is, when you get specific and you're right, you can dine out on that for a long time.
Bores me that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Bragging bores you?
Bragging, just being very specific bores me.
Till you get one right. Xbox One X, baby.
You've been holding on to that for a whole generation, practically.
Well, maybe if everybody who I said it to in the podcast didn't mock me and say, that's a stupid name, they would never call it that, maybe I wouldn't be holding on to it for so long. Maybe if everyone had just nodded and shuffled awkwardly and then moved on, it wouldn't have been such a big deal. I wouldn't have thrown my headphones at Russ when it happened and been like, fuck you! Never question me again!
Now give me money! We didn't bet on it. Give me your money!
You owe me money!
We didn't bet on it. Give me your money.
I said, give me your money. It's weird, because this is the part of the podcast where I normally go, so how was your week?
Very good, Amy.
Was
very
it?
Good indeed.
This is a total shock to me.
Very good. How was your week?
You know what? It was pretty good. You know.
Very good. You have good food?
Yeah. The food was pretty good. Yeah, the food was really good. Yeah.
I heard the weather was good as well.
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
It was good, but not to be good. To be inside with it and recording reactions to showcases.
It was good if you like heat. Mm-hmm. If you don't like heat, it wasn't great.
Yeah, that's true.
Exponentially increasing temperatures were the order of the day.
Yeah. I think every window in my flat was just open.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone. Really
multiple fans, all the windows. I think we were going through a bag of ice a day.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I've just restocked with 5 bags.
And yeah, so you're good for at least the next couple of days.
I hope so.
But yeah, no, it's weird. It's weird to not be in that room that you're sitting in.
Did say we could have done this, but I understood your logic of not wanting to.
It was easier, and also I think we would have melted. Like if we were both sat on your couch for 2 hours.
We were for 3 showcases.
Yeah, but it was, believe it or not, colder when we did that.
I disagree.
I disagree with your disagreement, because I remember when you opened that window that one time and cold air actually came into the room.
That was the more annoying thing about it. On the nighttime, it was just like, yeah, wind, doesn't exist anymore.
when I was staying up at in your room playing Dead Cells, and like your window was shut, so I was like, "Fuck, I need to open this window," and I literally opened it, and obviously you've got windows that like properly open, so it's huge, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I like stuck my hand through the window like outside, and it's the same. There was no difference. I was like, "The fuck is this shit?"
It's literally that picture from that gift from Office. Not Office. They're the same.
No, it's supposed to be cooler. I'm supposed to be cooling off.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, we had some rough nights of temperature when it comes to sleeping and everything like that. Last night was all right and everything, and yeah, hopefully it'll get a little bit more cooler on the nights. But we have got a fan. We've got our big fan, so we're like just hitting us all the time. So it's really kind of.
Yeah, I stole the big fan.
Yes, you did.
I did. Actually, I was given it.
Yes, you did. Still given. Potato.
I want to get the clip. I've got a shelf above my bed, so I want to get the clip. I want to get a clippy one like you've got and just point it directly down.
I hope you have a plug socket up there so you can keep it charged.
It'll be fine. All it needs to do is get me to sleep. I feel like once I'm asleep, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
I just need to cross that threshold. It's difficult.
That's true. The worst thing for me is just that I drink so much water. It's just like I'm up, going
Up,
to sleep.
down, up, down.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You know
But they're not here to talk about. Listen to us, saying we talk about how our great week and everything, and hanging out and watching showcases, talking about video games and everything.
We didn't just watch showcase.
Yeah, we played video games. We went for walks. Went to the lakes.
We did. We went to a lake.
Lake, yeah. One big ass lake.
One huge fucking lake. With boats.
Yeah.
And heat.
Lots of heat. Yeah,
All the heat.
All the heat in the world.
I had an ice cream. I had an ice cream. You sat down at a table and you went because you can't have ice cream. I was very respectful. I just stood behind you. Well, I was shuffling it. I was like, no, quick, before he turns around.
Before he turns around and strangles me.
How dare you?
No, but that's all right. It's all right. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. Nothing I can do about it.
Like I said, I'm be respectful about it. I cannot eat ice cream.
You were very respectful.
Next week's podcast, I'm just going to be, delicious.
It's my revenge, Moody. You eating ice cream in front of me those times. I am now going to eat ice cream in front of you.
It's slightly caramel as well. Prepare for an argument.
Let's prepare for a walk-off.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I don't like caramel, so that I will never eat that in front of you.
Oh, nice of that.
Unless it's a charity thing and someone's like donated to make me eat things I don't like.
Why would anyone do that?
Have you met our audience?
No, actually.
They hate us.
Do they?
Well, no, they don't hate us. They like us, but they also like to see us like if there's an opportunity to make us suffer, they will do that. They will take that opportunity.
And they wonder why I don't stream.
That's why I retired. And that's why I turned off most of the channel sub-point goals.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I scratched my nose.
I swear, I did mine as well. Yeah.
I think I scratched my nose.
Yeah.
Unless it's a spot. Might be a
I
spot.
did it yesterday.
Well, why does it have to go in the most front of the face in space ever? Never mind.
That's
Shit
weird.
happens.
That's weird. We've got matching nose scratches. Does Sophia go around scratching people's noses?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Wow.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But yeah, no.
Well, let's start, Amy.
I thought we did. Did
Oh, did we?
I've already hit record. Yeah, we did. Definitely did.
Oh, cool. So you want to talk about the Summer Games Fest? How feelings overall?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, that's why we're here, right?
I guess. Like, the less I have to talk about that, man,
it's
all good for me.
Well, then you'll be happy to know there was way more than just Summer Games Fest. So
thank God. Yeah.
So yeah, you won't have to talk about it that much if you don't want to. But yeah, no. So we just spent a week watching video game showcases. Starting on Thursday. Technically Wednesday, because there was a thing on Wednesday, but
we didn't watch
that. I was
We were
packing.
both at work. Well, you were packing, I was at work.
And then going through to, well, it's still going. Like, there's a RGG studio thing up tonight, probably mostly about Yakuza, I'd imagine.
Very nice.
Which was yesterday, if you're watching this podcast when it goes up. Which obviously you haven't watched, because that's in the future. But yeah, no, we watched the majority of them. And streamed a few of them. Didn't stream some of them.
Yes, yeah, we didn't stream all of them. We only streamed we streamed the ones that are arguably the biggest overall. The ones that we wanted to watch overall as well. Like we wanted to watch Day of the Devs, we wanted to watch Tribeca, Wholesome Direct, Future Games Show. You wanted to watch the PC show. I did not, so I left you for that.
I like the games from that show.
Yeah, and we obviously focused a lot of the attention that was going to be obviously the Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Showcase / Starfield Direct.
Yeah,
and everything. But the Summer Games Fest was obviously the main big one to start us off with on the Thursday and whatnot. We saw a lot of games. We saw a good amount of games, a good balance sheet of games, which is great to see and everything. But obviously we're always here to champion seeing more games, more developers and everything. What we're not here, well, I'm not here for, but I think I can include you into this, is having so much Jeff Keighley's ego outstage the entire place. It's the same thing as what it was the year before and the year before that. 2020 is an anomaly. I can appreciate that. He was trying his best to try and find things and get things doing, working and whatnot, which was obviously out of his control, which I can appreciate. But this year's Summer Game Fest, he needs to just cut himself out. He needs to, when there's a part when he's just smashing through the games and everything and just speaking about, here it is, here's the trailer, boom, that really flowed. I can get along with that with Jeff Keighley and everything like that. But when it comes to him just chatting, bringing people on the stage and chatting without showing anything of the game until after the chat, which can be felt like each chat was about 10 minutes long, I would say, give or take. I might be a little bit, I might be wrong there.
Probably not that long, but it felt that long.
Yeah. And like you said on the house stream, this guy used to be a journalist, and he asked the dumbest questions.
Well, I mean,
I heard you spoke lines for this game.
Yeah, did you do voice lines for the game? Yeah, I did. That's why I'm in it.
They didn't just use my face.
Or just me in the game. Yeah.
They used me all together and everything like that. And
like,
it's just like...
It felt like... Because he brought out Nicolas Cage. Did he bring out another celebrity as well? Like another movie star celebrity? Or was it just the one? I feel like there was two. And I'm forgetting because Nick Cage was there.
Keanu was at Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any more.
Like, it feels like when he brought out Nicolas Cage, he was trying to like forcefully recreate the Keanu Reeves moment at E3. You know, you're breathtaking. Yeah. And like the two things about that was Keanu came out and talked about the game. It was brief, and then we saw the game. Whereas we just chatted to Nick Cage for ages about.
But also, what made that so organic was someone
shouted at him,
and he just reacted.
Yeah, he was on the stage, and he was also on the stage alone.
Yeah. And it just worked even better because of that. That's what we got. And yeah,
there's a reason the Xbox showcase isn't Phil Spencer talking for 10 minutes between games.
yeah, it's just like, just show us the games. You can talk over them, you can ask these questions, but just show us the game. Literally do that. I think that if he did that, I wouldn't have a problem, because that's what the devs did and everything, and it flowed smoothly, and it was brilliant to hear. And that's what I think he really needs to get into his game, is bringing that into it. Like, you can bring on the guy who we brought on for Mortal Kombat. You can bring on Nick Cage and everything, but just show the game. Just show the game. It's not rocket science. The people are there to see the games. No offense, they're not there to see Nick Cage, even though it's a fun little thing to see and everything, because we all know how kooky he is and everything, and it's a fun thing to see the developers and everything. But when you drag on the conversation, well, felt like it was dragging on, and you just slowed the pace like hell, it sucks the energy out of the show and everything. And that's why I was just ultimately very disappointed just how the flow of the show went. The games, can't fault the games. Not every one game was for me or anything, but the games, fantastic. great diverse bunch of games for every different type of gamer, which is absolutely fantastic and what we want to see.
Yeah, they really fixed that from last year, I think.
Yeah, I think that, because we remember the year before was like
horror game,
4 Dead Space games or something.
Yeah, Dead Space, followed by Dead Space, followed by Dead Space, followed by Dead Space.
yeah, and those were nowhere to see. Well, 2 of them are out, but the other 2 haven't been. We're
One of
nowhere
them
been seen this year.
Well, I've seen one actually. So when I got home from yours, I was behind on Edge magazines, and I ordered the 2 that I needed, and the new one came out today, and for some reason they've sent me that one.
Nice.
For free. I didn't pay for it.
Nice.
So I've got 3 Edge magazines. It's on the cover of one of the Edge magazines, one of those horror games from last year.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I'm looking forward to reading about that.
It's a good read for you, I guess.
Oh, I love reading Edge. It's great. But sorry, just
no.
really like the variety of games was awesome. And when it was a game trailer, and then Jeff going, and no, this next game is blah 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 blah, and then another game trailer, and then Jeff going, and then this game is blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is cool. And like, even when you have to stop sometimes to be like, now some ads because we got to pay for this shit. Cool, no problem. I understand. You've got to pay for all of the production and everything, and flying Jeff Keighley around the world because he decided to stop and tell everybody in the middle of the showcase, I get to go around the world and see all of these games, and it's like. And that sentence made me realize what the problem I have with the Summer Games Fest and the Game Awards is, and Opening Night Live, because it's just the same as the Summer Game Fest, is that Summer Game Fest should be about the games. The Game Awards should be about Game Awards. Somehow both of these shows are about Jeff Keighley. and that's what pisses me off. That's why for the first 20 minutes of Summer Games Fest, when we saw like 3 games in 20 minutes, I was losing my fucking mind because I didn't come here to see Jeff Keighley.
About it, like Jeff needs to get in his head. It's not about I've heard him say it in podcasts he's been on. It's not about me. It's about the games. Then get off the fucking stage, then, Jeff. Get off the stage. You're not important to this thing. Yes, you bring this together. You work your ass off from beginning of the year to the end of the year because, like you said, you do 3 shows. You're now literally on fast pace until the end of August when you do the Gamescom, and then after that you're going to be hot shotting it all the way to December for the Game Awards. I will never deny that you are not a busy man or anything like that, and you're working your ass off to get these things done. But you need to take yourself out of it more. You really, really do. And that's more of our thoughts. I think overall games, fantastic.
We've got some games. So just so everybody knows, we're going to talk about the showcases in general. Then we're going to move on later to talking about the games. It's all in timestamps below if you just want to skip straight to us talking about what games we really enjoyed.
Or we're excited for.
We're excited for. Yeah, because there's a lot. Yeah, there was so much. I feel like I could just list the entire Wholesome Direct and call it a day. But yeah, no.
I think when we get to the Wholesome Direct, we just say the entire.
Fucking watch it.
Just watch it. Yeah.
Elfie was watching it last night, messaging the D&D group chat, just being like, "Oh my god, this game! Oh my god, this game!" And I was like, that was me on the stream. I was literally going to Moody, look at this, look at this.
It was phenomenal. It really was.
So, as we review games, let's review shows. So we've got a 5-star rating system that we just introduced for video games. Where does Summer Game Fest sit for you on this 5-star rating system?
It sticks, even though I've had more time to dwell on it and everything like that. It sticks to what I said when we reviewed it live. It's the 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
For me, overall, I think it's literally just the pacing. It is the absolute pacing. And also, I don't think you really had a big hitter that these are games I think we all knew about for the most part that we're going to talk about in a minute for and everything, but he had no new big hitter to go, oh my god, and that's something he can't really do anything about if none of the studios or the publishers are ready to talk about them and everything.
There was no Elden Ring
thing. Yeah. But we all in everything. I can appreciate that on that part. But like,
you can work with what he's given. Yeah,
with what he's given. I can appreciate. If he sorted the pacing, it'll probably be a 3, easy.
I respected the fact that he managed to get them to give him Final Fantasy VII. Like I thought, especially
that was
like, holy shit!
Just had their own showcase.
Yeah. They did that here.
like somehow he got the Spider-Man release date. That still blows my
And you
mind.
got the Spider-Man
it makes
release
no
date,
sense.
and it's like,
I don't get it. Yeah.
how did
Why
you
are
what?
you here?
Huh? Just what photos of Jim Ryan have you got on?
Yeah.
On a secret hard drive, Jeff. Like, what the fuck?
Have you got photos of his dog after that email?
Cat birthday parties. Yeah, no, I'll stick with what I said live on our stream as well. Like, it's still a 3 for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was shockingly like badly paced, and there was too much Jeff Keighley, but like the games lifted it up to a 3 for me.
Yeah, I might be being like some people could always say you might be probably being a little bit harsh and everything. It's just,
well,
I've seen, and I can appreciate where people say we're not going to get what we used to get in like the PS4, Xbox One era of conferences and everything. I can really
I
appreciate
disagree
that and everything.
purely because of what we're going to be talking about next.
Yeah, because I think we can. That's the thing about it. Yeah. But for me, I argue completely to get that because that's absolute bollocks.
That's just excuses. But
yeah.
No, yeah, I'd say a 3. Like 2 for sure. Like in terms of the presentations and stuff. But I think personally, I got a lot of things that I really wanted to see. Like I got to see more Alan Wake 2 gameplay. I got to see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, so I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, cool. Like, you gave me some stuff that I wanted. I just had to put up with your face to get to it.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. That is the disappointing thing about it. Like, I don't want to be crapping on this showcase. Like I said, Jeff Keighley brought gaming together in 2020, even though he spread it out. They were spreading it out like for 4 months. But either way, he was able, along with many more people. I'm not saying it's just him, but he's basically the face of it. And he brought gaming to do showcases, especially when it was the height of the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
And like, I think everyone can always respect him for that and everything.
Yeah, like it was still a thing.
Take him out of it.
That was good.
He doesn't need to be there anymore.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So speaking of, we're never going to get what we used to get from Microsoft and PlayStation and everything. Let's talk about the Xbox showcase. So we're going to talk about the Xbox showcase and the Starfield Direct separately. So right now, let's just focus on the Xbox showcase. And like, we got pretty close to what I feel like we got pretty close to a banger of a fucking presentation from Xbox.
Yes, we did.
Like, you know, I feel like the theory that we can't have it like we used to have it is immediately nixed by the fact that we just got a great showcase from Xbox.
A weird ending, but yeah, it was a great showcase as they're dubbed 2 separate entities overall by everybody. It was a good showcase. It rounded off, it threw out some games. It gave us. They needed to hit it out the park. I think for the most part they did that, and can't ask for much more from them really when it comes to it.
It was a nice mix of things we knew about and really wanted to see, and things we didn't know about that looked really cool. You know, because we know they've got a lot of studios working on stuff, and we got to see what some of those studios are working on. We got a few third parties, and then we got the things that we thought were going to be there: Hellblade, Forza, If You Me, Fable.
Fable, love Fable.
Me literally going, it's Fable o'clock, Moody, it's Fable o'clock, and then the showcase opening with Fable, and me just sitting there going.
And then he had a clock game right after it was just.
And it ended on
it was hell. But no, they had some great shows. They had a really good show, especially compared to what PlayStation's was in May. But they focused a lot on their live service exclusives that they're gonna have and everything.
Both showcases had, here's the next little bit of time with what our first parties are doing. And PlayStation's focus was on live services, which I don't think people were expecting. Even after the showcase, I remember people saying, we still don't know what PlayStation first parties were up to. And I was like, we did. They just showed you it's live services. Xbox also had that focus on first party, but they don't have live service games coming, you know? Like, there's some co-op games in there. There's some multiplayer games in there. But I don't think they showed us, like, apart from the ongoing stuff like Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online, I don't think they showed anything that was live service. Like, I don't think they announced a new live service game.
Yeah, apart from the ones that we already knew about, yeah. Like what you said, Elden Ring and Fallout, yeah. which is great to see. Which is it's a complete opposite from the beginning of the PS4, Xbox One era.
Yeah.
The PlayStation exclusives, games, all this and everything for the gamers and whatnot.
For the gamers.
And Xbox was all TV. That's how it was made it look like for it. But no, yeah, they had a really good showcase. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, a weird ending, but overall, I was really, really satisfied from the showcase. Like I said, they needed to hit it out of the park, and I think for the most part they did.
It did feel like something might have been cut. Like there was like a thing that was supposed to be at the end of the showcase that wasn't.
I can understand why they cut it though, because I think there is a massive chance it would have been completely forgotten about because of the direct of Starfield.
Well, it depends. Like, no, I feel like it was like they had like a big thing to put at the end, right? Because we saw like Fable first, and we saw like all of the biggest stuff that we know is pretty close. Like, and it felt like maybe there was a trailer for like, I don't know, like, and this isn't even a realistic thing. Like, if it was like Gears 6 level thing where it was like, and now next from Gears, and then for whatever reason, it feels like it wasn't there. So they just went, we're going to have to fucking just cut this part. And that's kind of what it felt like. Like there was supposed to be something else, but then it just weirdly ended on a black Xbox One, Xbox Series S.
Yeah.
And that really, I mean, when we were on stream, that really threw me. I was like, wait, what?
What's weird to me about that new Xbox Series is that, so wait, you've largened the space for the Series, but you've left the X the same, which is just 500, I believe. So,
yeah, I guess. I mean, mine's 500.
I'm just like, really?
Bastards.
Weird, but yeah, that's their choice. That's what the decision they made to do, and yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like this showcase was exactly what Microsoft needed after Redfall and everything that followed, like what happened when Redfall came out, and also the PlayStation, and it was the perfect thing to follow up the PlayStation showcase that we got 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you focused on mostly single player games, story-based single player games. PlayStation did not.
Yeah. Because between those two showcases, it felt like a really great like couple of weeks for Microsoft, you know, after the PlayStation showcase. More or less like consensus-wise, the best games that were shown at the PlayStation, or the games that people thought were the best showings at the PlayStation showcase, Xbox immediately came out and went, we've got those too. And then 2 weeks later, they do a showcase, and it's just like, and check out all this other cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's really basically what it is all about. And fair play to Xbox, fair play.
Yeah, it was a really good, really strong showcase, and the perfect antidote for the last few weeks.
For them, yeah.
For them.
and now it's just to kick on from that. Hopefully, when Starfield comes out at the end of in September.
September, yeah.
It's a 7 out of 10. What that guy always says it's going to be. Yeah.
No,
what if all the reviewers are going to do it? Give it a 7 out of 10.
Total conspiracy, yeah. We've all been texting each other, just saying like, you know, we've got to make sure we like get this a low score, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can't be on Xbox's side.
We can't be on Xbox's. Ignore that. We can't be on Xbox's side.
See, I've got nothing Xbox.
Damn it.
Trying to see. No. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What? No, let's have a look. Yeah, no, I think you're good. It's right. Yeah. I mean, there's a Master Chief Xbox Series X Special Edition, like just off camera. But apart from that, you know.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Mister doesn't like Halo.
Didn't say the console wasn't good looking.
But the console looks nice. Yeah, so yeah, like we'll talk a lot. I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about games from the Xbox Showcase later. So what's your review? Where do you land with the Xbox Showcase?
I am going to change from what I did on live on stream, because I have milled on it a lot more better, and I think it's a 4 out of 5. It's cool. A 4 out of 5. I think they brought it. Yes, it doesn't fully we have to be a little thing. We don't do decibels. If it was a decibel, I probably would be in the middle of like half, 3 out of 3.5.
Yeah, we don't do that.
And everything, but 4 out of 5. I think it's a fair score for them. A little ending, bit of a dud, bit of a flat, basically. But they kicked off really strong. spoke fast, back to games, spoke fast, back to games, spoke fast, straight onto Direct, the Starfield Direct, and it just flowed really, really well. I had a fun time. So
That's cool.
like we had some bangers. Like they had some bangers. Like by the end of it, we're like, they're just showing 2 Persona things. Are they going to reveal Persona 6? Are they actually doing this?
Yeah, that was. I did the lawyer moment thing where I just went. like nobody can hear me on stream, just asking you like, are they gonna do the thing? Are they gonna do it? Are they crazy enough to do it?
Yeah, not realizing you had my mic right in your face and I wasn't.
No, that was the joke. That was the joke.
Oh yeah.
I was leaning into
really
your
weird.
mic.
Yeah, it was crazy, but yeah. But I won't lie. I'll state this right now. 100%. I don't care if I'm wrong. Xbox are going to reveal Persona 6.
I mean,
Don't
yeah.
know when it's going to be, but they are revealing Persona 6.
Yeah, they just revealed all of Atlus's games for the next, 12 months.
Unless Sony have got that lockdown saying we're the ones to reveal it, Xbox are going to reveal it.
Yeah, it feels like that. It's like Yakuza's jumped tracks as well from PlayStation to Xbox. It's like no one talks about that. I actually want to talk about that for a second because years ago, the thing that, one of the stated objectives of Phil Spencer was we need to get more Japanese games onto the Xbox. And they've kind of succeeded because not only have they got the games, which, was obviously stage one, you're getting a lot of big Japanese franchises now releasing on Xbox as well. But they've done even more. And it's now they've got Sega basically announcing all of their games on an Xbox stage. So you get the Yakuza games, you get you get From Software games, both Sekiro and I don't know, was Elden Ring at an Xbox showcase? Fest. It was a Summer Games Fest, wasn't it? But you got Sekiro, that was announced at an Xbox press conference. So was Dark Souls 3. And I feel like not enough credit is given to the team at Xbox for how much they've actually shifted that perception, where it's now if I'm sitting down to watch a PlayStation showcase and an Xbox showcase and I'm looking for things like Persona or Yakuza, I'm thinking Xbox. You know what I mean? When we didn't see any Yakuza at PlayStation or Summer Games Fest, I just instantly was probably see it at Xbox.
Yeah, it's just well done to them. Well done to Phil Spencer. He's done what he said he wanted to do, that he was intending to do, and he's knocked it out of the park for it, and that's what we want to hear.
Yeah. And yeah, I've done the same as you. I think that ending was this is the perils of reviewing something immediately after you've just watched it. It's your knee-jerk reaction can be different, because I just watched it again. I just watched the showcase again to have a look at it again, and for me it's a high 4.
Yeah, for me it's a low 4.
I was pushing towards a 5 just because it's so much cool stuff, such a good pace, but just missing that one extra sort of that one more thing. I feel like if I give it a 4 this year, I feel like they could give me a 5 next year.
I think lowered it was was obviously the ending. It was just a really weird ending for it. It missed the big one more thing moment. There's no doubt about that. Also, I'll shout him out for it. We watched the video when you were down here. I have to shout Skill Up. I think Skill Up's pretty much spot on the part of I wanted to see a little bit more gameplay than the in-game engine type thing. For me personally, that is just a me thing, not anything else thing. For it, because but I can also appreciate Fable's still probably 2025 at the earliest for me. I can't see it coming out next year. If they come out and say it's this year, 2024, damn, they have a fucking banger of the year potentially next year. But yeah, with them not even giving it a window, that's telling me 2025 at the earliest.
It's telling me they don't know, and it's telling me that they're aiming for 2024, but they're not 100%. So they've done the smart thing and just not committed to it to then delay it later.
Not committing is that it gives them more leeway. I do agree with you there. There's no doubt about that. But no, yeah.
I think inside Playground Games offices or Microsoft offices or both, I think the game is internally on track for 2024. But I also think that the reason they're not saying it is so they can give themselves the leeway so that if they need to delay it internally, they can, and they won't get the headlines of Microsoft delays Fable.
Oh yeah, you don't want to have that thing, like you say, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want that
definitely
headline.
don't want to say you do not want that headline whatsoever. So that'll be smart. Really, all companies should really think of just doing that.
Yeah, I don't need
really
release dates. Like I only like we've talked about this on podcasts and all sorts before about games that with protracted like showings, like they announce it and then every fucking year for the next 5 years we see it, and you reach a certain point where it's just like I just need the game now, but they keep saying it's coming and then they delay it, and then they say it's coming and then they delay it, and it's like, look, I'm cool with seeing games, and just don't tell me when it's until you're ready to tell me when it's gonna come out. Just don't like you don't even need to give me a release window. Like that's totally cool. Like I'm fine with that. Like because
that is fair.
I tend not to get excited, like wholly like overexcited for games until they're close, right? Because like between me and Fable is 100 other games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, to play. So it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm excited for those 100 games first, and that's kind of where I land on that.
That is fair. I get it.
So Xbox immediately followed up their showcase with the Starfield Direct, which was about 45 minutes, if I remember.
Give
rightly.
or take, yeah, give or take.
And I was surprised by how much I didn't hate it. I thought it was at that length. It was going to be too long, and I thought like way too long. I thought they're not going to be able to like fill this 45 minutes. And the trepidation also was, and also I'm not really interested in Starfield. So that's a combination that makes me come out of the Starfield Direct going, actually, wait, I still probably won't give it a try unless you tell me, yeah, you got to fucking try this game. But like to come out of it and just be like, actually enjoyed my 45 minutes, like watching this Direct. That was quite a shock to me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a good little Direct. They focused on what they needed to focus on. They hit the things the people I think overall really wanted to have a look at and see and everything. Shipbuilding games, the gun mechanic and everything like that. What you can do with the guns, dressing up and all like that. I think this is potentially is going to be a heck of a hit for them, and I hope so for all the work they're putting in and everything like that. I enjoyed the showcase. I thought it was a little long. I think there's parts where you could have maybe trimmed out and everything and just make it that more tighter for us.
Potentially,
yeah. Sometimes you don't need to constantly keep on chattering and whatnot. But no, I had fun with it.
Don't say that out loud on this podcast. Like what I liked about it was very focused, even though it was 45 minutes long. Like, you know, they clearly had a very rigid structure for how the Direct was going to go. It was like, we're going to talk about this element, then then talking about that flows into this, and then that flows into that, and then, you know what I mean? And it just felt like each section of the Direct flowed naturally into the next one. Like there was no sudden shift from talking about one thing to talking about another one. And it was really smooth. Totally not used to that from a Bethesda presentation. Like
it
ever.
It just works, Amy.
For once, it just worked.
It really did. He's never going to live that down.
No, he's never going to live that down. No. Not as long as I still draw breath.
The thing is, if I was him, I would lean into that fucker.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be so leaning in it. Literally, and the next one I'd say, it just works. He'll get a laugh. Everyone will laugh, and we all know he will. Everyone knows. And he'll laugh with him. That's what you should do it. Go along with it. Just make it a meme. Make it a proper meme. Where you know that we know.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my own meme.
Yeah.
And you're gonna know I'm using it as a meme.
Yeah. By the end of this Direct, I was like, I'm giving this a go. I'm gonna give this a go. Yeah.
And that's awesome, because that means that it's done its job. It's sold you, because like the people who were already in on Starfield were already in on Starfield, and this Direct wasn't going to swing their opinion one way or the other. But the fact that it's worked on you, someone who wasn't intending to maybe necessarily have a go, to be now like, I am definitely downloading this off of Game Pass and giving it a shot. You know, it's done a good job. It's done what it needed to do.
Yeah. The job of a trailer or direct, whoever it is, to raise your excitement, and it rose my excitement. Like, yeah, I am looking forward to this, and I didn't think I would be, which I'm really happy to give when I give this a 7 out of 10. Guy's going to be joked about for the rest of the fucking year.
3 out of 5. We don't do 10.
3 out of 5. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, and then if you turn around to me and say, Amy, you would love this game, I'll download it, and then that's dominoes being knocked over, and it all comes back to this direct.
Yeah.
So what's your final rating on the Starfield Direct?
I gotta give it what I gotta give it props. It's getting me to play this game, and that's what its job was to do. A little slow, I think, at times. Overbloated. Could have trimmed some fat off. 4 out of 5. I give it the same as the Xbox. I think it's a 4 out of 5. It sold me, and that's what it was meant to do, and I can give them props for that.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same ball as you. Like, I give it a 4 out of 5 as well. It was just a good showcase. For one game. I don't think I've ever seen a showcase for one game be that long, and at some point not have me going, stop talking, which I never did.
That was Jeff Keighley's plan all along. Get annoyed at him so we don't get annoyed at the
lower the bar so lower the bar
so
low.
Lowered the bar
yeah.
so fucking much. Yeah, thank you, Jeff Keighley.
But I can watch Bethesda talk about Starfield for 45 minutes and be like, the pacing's great.
yeah.
Not listening to fucking DoorDash adverts and 10-minute Nicolas Cage interviews. Cool. So those were the two like major.
They were the major ones.
Showcases that happened this summer. And there was a Ubisoft Forward and there was a Capcom showcase. I think we both kind of caught up with the stuff that came out of those things without actually watching them. Because we were watching Spider-Man.
Half the stuff was showed either at Xbox or at bloody Summer Games Fest. So we already saw most of it, so we were fine.
Yeah, so we didn't watch either of those. But, you know, we were watching Spider-Man films.
Yes, we were actually.
And I feel
in a really weird order.
in a I suppose. Yeah.
Let's start with the second one first.
Good time though. Good time. So
we watched the prequel afterwards.
The prequel. So we won't be talking about any of those showcases. So it's just the smaller ones now. So we can just quickly do the smaller ones that we watched. And we'll start with Day of the Devs since it followed Summer Game Fest. I sometimes think that I'm higher on Day of the Devs than I ordinarily would have been if I didn't have to sit through 2 hours of Summer Games Fest to get to it. And I feel like sometimes that's why I think it's so good.
I think partially you are right there. There's no doubt about it. It's like it was I think. Like, I think you're spot on there. I think a little bit because
when you see Tim Schafer's face, you know the nightmare is over.
And it was fun. It flowed fast. We saw the games. We heard people talking over the games, giving us insight about the games while also seeing the games. It flowed fast. So we had some fun jokes in there and everything. It was just a lot of fun. And fair play to the entire team. Like, they just really knocked it out of the park. I had a lot of fun with this. It was a breath of fresh air after the long slog that was the Summer Games Fest. And yeah.
That's exactly what it felt like. It was like opening the window and letting all of the stuffy air out, right? And like Day of the Devs for me, like seeing the games that they pick for that show every year is becoming like a stamp of approval. Almost like, if a game is at Day of the Devs, there's something to this game that I'm really gonna really vibe with, or is gonna be really good that might just not be for me. But either way, it's like the Nintendo seal of approval. it's like I've got the Tim Schafer seal of approval on these games, so it's like I'm paying attention because you see so many cool things, and sometimes things that I didn't even know existed, which is always fun. Like it was the same at Tribeca. Which we'll talk about in a bit. It's like I'm seeing cool indie games that I either knew existed and I'm just seeing them again, or like I didn't know about this and I'm looking at it for the first time and going, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see. That's the thing about it. Like I think for the next ones we'll talk about and everything, it's just like they flowed a lot more better. It just worked. Like Thingy says,
It just works.
It
Just works. So, are we going to give ratings to each of these showcases
I don't.
individually?
What are you thinking here?
I don't know. I'm thinking a 4 for this one. Like, if I was going to give it a rating, I think a 4 was probably about.
I think a 4 is spot on. Basically, like it launched me up from to asleep almost to awake by the end of it. And after
Like,
that's just the bar.
Yeah!
It woke me up.
Very quickly, because I forgot to put it in the notes and I've just remembered it existed. We are moving on to the next one, right?
Yes.
Okay, the accessibility showcase.
Uh,
Which I missed half of due to technical difficulties.
Did you catch up?
Well, I caught up on the news. I didn't rewatch the first half, but I did watch the second half of it.
I think more than anything, this showcase is more groundbreaking for that it's showing off accessibility than not what we were actually showing off or anything. I didn't expect that we were going to get like anything massive here or anything.
Yeah.
And just for me, it's a shout out to Laura Kate Dale. She worked her ass off, I'm pretty sure, to get this thing into a great way, and it shouted out what is something that is incredibly important to both of us, and that's just accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
You may not understand that joke, people, but me and Amy will for that. But no, it's I would overall give it probably a 3 out of 5 overall for the accessibility. Right. I think they showed off some good stuff. It just like I don't know what.
It's hard to rate.
It's hard to rate that.
So let's just not rate it because I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Because it's not a showcase for us. Like we champion accessibility as hard and as much as we possibly can without necessarily needing accessibility ourselves.
Yeah.
So like we can watch this and be like, that was awesome to see all of these cool things that developers are putting into their games. Other people are watching this showcase or listening to this showcase or however they're consuming this showcase and going, these are games that I can now play. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm excited because I can play this because it has these features in it.
Yeah. I think it was more of a celebration and support for this direct, and I hope that they will have done what they've been able to do and to be able to say we can do this next
again.
Year. Yeah. And that is my hope for the future and everything.
That's what I want. If it's about view counts, let me know. I'll watch it on repeat. I'll get those view hours up. I'll just put it on.
I'll have it on the background.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a really good showcase. It was before Tribeca, and we were about to move on to Tribeca, and I was like, wasn't there something before that? There was. It was a nightmare for me because everything broke in our setup, and I was at the desk like frantically clicking things because we only had one set of headphones working. And I let Moody watch it while I frantically clicked all the things on his computer.
I had no idea what to do. So
without it was that fine line. I had to click things to fix it without taking away your ability to watch the showcase on the stream. It was like
we lost everything.
I'm quite proud of myself. The stream never went down, and I fixed everything that needed fixing.
Yeah. To my knowledge, it flowed really well. When we had people in, they were telling us we sounded fine and everything, and that's all that matters. Yeah.
So yeah, we got the next one was the Tribeca Spotlight, which is the thing that the Tribeca Film Festival puts on every year. They select games in advance. It's all about interactive storytelling and different ways that we can use the gaming medium to tell stories. It's a highlight of my E3 since they started doing it 3 years ago. And I'm just going to say it. This was exactly the same.
I'm going to say, for me, this was the best showcase.
Yep.
Even if we knew what was coming and everything, it was just the best showcase. It showed off different diverse type of games and just sold us straight away right from it. It flowed really fast. It was it never had any fat whatsoever. It was just there going for it. And it gave us stuff like freaking hell, the games that were shown on this. I think I'm going to buy most of them. So I was saying, talking about that seal of quality, it's like definitely
with Tribeca. Like, because I think to past games that were in the Tribeca, like before this year, like Signalis, Norco, like games that I know I've played because I saw them at one of these spotlight events, and they've been some of my favorite games of whenever they've come out. So yeah, I'm definitely with you. It's like I'm gonna fucking play all 7 of these games that were shown at this spotlight because they were at this spotlight, and they did look amazing. Like I walked into this showcase. There were 7 games on display. One of them I'd never heard of. I didn't know anything about it at all. 2 of them I'd heard of, but I didn't know really anything about the game specifically. And then the other 4 I know all about because I've been following the development for a while. And from that, I left with 7 games where I'm like, this is day one. Like, these games, all 7 of these games are day one for me.
6 for me.
What was the 7 for? What? 6?
I got 6 down for me. That are day one.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't want to know what one missed, but what I'm also thankful for before we get back into talking about Tribeca is this is the showcase after telling Moody about Stray Gods multiple times over the last 6 months, and every time him going, what's that game? I don't remember it. This is the showcase that finally made him remember what Stray Gods is.
Yeah. It's now on the top of my list.
It's finally
right after my birthday, basically.
Finally, he remembers Dragon Age Writer, musical starring Laura Bailey,
and role-playing
basically
game. All of them.
We got him, folks.
All right. My memory ain't the greatest. All right, I get you. I get it.
It's just a joke. I'm just joking.
I know.
But if I was being serious, this wouldn't be on a podcast discussion. Also, why the fuck would I be mad that you can't remember what a game is? Like, if you kept forgetting what this is, I get to keep reliving the joy of you remembering what it is and going, "That's amazing," and me going, "I know, right?" But yeah, no, like 7 fantastic games. Can't wait for any of them. Can't wait to see which one is the official selection. Last year's was Thirsty Suitors.
When do we find that out?
I don't know. It's usually like a week or 2 after.
I am going to be fascinated for who wins that. Mm-hmm. I think it's...
Well, you guessed right last year, so do you want to have a guess this year?
What did I say?
You said Thirsty Suitors last year, and it was
Yeah,
Thirsty
what did I say
Suitors.
this time? Because we've already spoke about this. I can't remember.
That was a heat wave ago. Just pick a different one now.
No, because I want to be right. Because if it's the other one and I've forgotten what
I
said.
if you pick one now and it's different from the one you picked on the stream, you've got a better chance of getting it right.
And that's true. If I remember right, I think I said Straight Gods.
I think that sounds familiar. And I said Highland Song.
Yeah.
Right after.
I was gonna say. I think it's for me, it's probably between those 2. Well, it's just it's neither of them. Congratulations to that video game.
They're all fucking
all
awesome.
Of them look great.
Yeah,
all of them look amazing. And I can't wait to give all of them a try. So, and hopefully remember
5 out of 5 for me.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, for all of the reasons I just said.
I think for me, it is the best showcase overall.
Yeah.
For me, I thought it was just neon perfect. It flowed, showed games, and yeah. It showed games, I think, diverse for everybody, for different type of players, and we heard things the right way.
If you like video games that focus on storytelling, like in different ways, like I think all of these games do storytelling in different ways as well. But if you like games that focus on storytelling, you should go and watch this spotlight and come away with 7 games to want to play.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so there was also a Wholesome Direct. I don't know. I can't rate this lower because I bought it. This was the most expensive Direct I've ever watched in my entire life. I bought a T-shirt and kickstarted a game.
I bought a T-shirt as well. I won't lie, but it was more because I wanted to support, obviously, but I also wanted to get the one last time. I missed out on it. This time I have not missed out on the shirt, and I can't wait to get it and wear it on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully they come in the same time for both of us, and then we can both wear it. We'll be matching.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool.
But
we'll have to keep each other up to date on that and say, it's arrived, I haven't got it yet. All right, I'll hold
I'll
off
hold
you
off.
get
I'll
yours.
hold off. Yeah. It's a really good design. Like, I love the one that I have, which I think was from 2021.
Yeah.
But I never liked the color, like the light blue. I wasn't really. It was a really bright blue. But this one's a color, like a better color that I prefer.
It's a darker blue.
It's a darker blue, so I'm looking forward to that. But we're not here to review the t-shirts.
Not yet.
You go and get them. They're really cheap, and
they're not bad price.
And they go for and money goes to charity.
Yeah.
But as far as the showcase goes, I mean, how many did they showed 80 games, and I was like,
more than Xbox and Summer Games Fest combined.
And I was like, this is all the way through. I was like, cool. Like, you should see my friend activity list on Steam purely because of this showcase and how many games I was wishlisting.
Yeah, I basically just need to click on the Steam and start wishlisting all things you wishlist, because basically it's pretty much all the ones I wanted as well.
Probably, yeah. I downloaded one of the games. It was on mobile. It was on mobile, yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't got around to doing it yet. But no, yeah, it was a great direct, just like it was the year before and the year before that. It just gives you such a wide range of different type of games. Yes, some of the same, but some and everything. But you have a mixture. There's so many games, like 80 games, that there's so many different types, which is just really great. Not all of them like slanted for me and everything like that, but that doesn't mean anything bad about it, because not every game is going to be something I'm going to want to play or anything like that or anything like that. And but I'm just it was a great showcase. It flowed well. The hosts did their job, what they needed to do, and everything. I think like there was 2 showcases that I just said I love their hair. I think it was one the Wholesome Direct, and I think the other one was Starfield Direct. Yeah, it was the Starfield Direct. Yeah. Funny enough, both with pink hair. It's really weird. Pink's not a color I like.
Pink hair. You need to get some pink hair in.
No. I'll never live it down for my partner because I'm not the biggest fan of pink. But they suited it really well.
Is this a USS Titan situation? God damn it! I did it. Now it looks great. No, yeah. So the Wholesome Direct was phenomenal. Like, when the first one was in 2020, if I recall correctly.
I think so. Yeah.
And we both watched it separately, because I don't think we did any coverage of E3 or whatever E3 was in 2020. And I remember you saying, you remember saying to, I remember you saying to me, the Wholesome Direct was like a hug. It was something we all needed, and it felt like it was like a hug. And I was like, and I always like that saying, like the way you said that, and I always think of that when we watch it, because it's just nice.
It's a warm hug, no doubt about it. It is a warm hug, and that's what we basically needed. If this came out directly after the Summer Games Fest, oh my god, it'll be the greatest thing ever.
10 out of 5.
10 out of 5. The whole shebang, everything. Like, everything is shit compared to this. But no, it was a really good direct. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Great games, great looking games, so many different diverse games.
Yeah.
And they even talked about just like the accessibility showcase. They talked about accessibility as well. Mm-hmm. And again, we champion that.
And it's great. It's a great showcase, because what tends to happen for the rest of these showcases is you tend to end up watching a lot of trailers for a lot of games that are focused on violence. And I don't have a problem with violence in games. I like playing violent games, but when you get to the Wholesome Direct, it's a completely different vibe, and I get to see games that don't focus on violence as their main mechanic, and see like other ways that I can interact with video games. So I like, that's just one of the reasons why I really appreciate the Wholesome Direct and what it does. Like, some of the games that have been on those showcases in the past have been some of my favorite games of any given year. So
yeah, like, I think one of the biggest negatives, I think, for me overall from like the 2 big showcase, Summer Games Fest and Xbox showcase, was that, another first-person shooter game or another first-person game. I'm just like,
oh look, I'm shooting guns at people with a camera. Yeah, it's like,
yeah, I'm like, for fuck's sakes, give me something else, people. My goodness, it was like, so like for us to see this, it was just like really, really canny, and like, I had a lot of fun.
Do you want to cook food? Do you want to have tea parties with a cat? Like, yeah, I want to do all of those things. Fuck yes. Do you want to run a little bookshop? Yeah. And I remember you even looked at me and said, "This is Amy's perfect game." Just run a tiny little bookshop. I was like, "You're not wrong. I've had that dream."
Get a pad for that. I need to get like a stick and to say, "Amy game."
Amy game.
Amy approves.
I'll send you a I'll get my friend to draw me just being like, and you can have like an Amy approves.
It's Amy approved, people.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was a great show. I'd say it's a very solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah. I don't think any top Tribeca overall for me personally, but yeah, it's a solid 4 out of 5. A scrumptious, warm hug that we just came out feeling all gooey and just felt, this feels so good. And then we walked out of the room and we died. We're melting!
There's no fans in here. So the last one we're going to both talk about was the Future Games show, which was on right after Wholesome Direct. Literally right after Wholesome Direct.
Tribeca, we had like a 5-7 minute
time.
break. Yeah. Wholesome to Future Games? Nah.
0. They'd already started.
Yeah. So we might have missed the game. We haven't realized
Maybe,
it yet.
potentially. So this was hosted by Yuri Lowenthal, who is most well known for being the voice of Peter Parker in the Spider-Man games, and Laura Bailey. She was there because she's also in Spider-Man 2. That's what they do. They pair up 2 voice actors from the same game, but obviously Laura Bailey is known for many roles throughout the games industry.
Laura Bailey's in Spider-Man?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they were talking about Spider-Man so much in they're in between talky bits.
I didn't realize she was in it.
Mm-hmm. That's what they do at the Feature Game Show. I've watched a few now. It's always 2 actors from like the same game. Like one year they had Geralt and Yennefer, like from The Witcher 3, and there was a Resident Evil duo last year. 2 of the characters from Resident Evil. Tall Vampire Mommy and Crazy Metal Gear Solid Boss. I don't know their names. But that's the Future Game Show. That's what they do. Like, and it's a good strategy. Hire some voice actors to run your show. Like, it's a good idea. 5 out of 5 for the puns that were making Moody want to shove his head through his microphone.
Oh yeah. The puns were a little too much for this.
Yuri Lowenthal got the short end of the stick when it came to the puns, but I loved it. That was great. But as a showcase, it was. I want to say it was fine. I definitely didn't dislike it, but what I was thinking about looking back on it was that nothing jumped out at me without going back to look at a list of what was shown at the showcase. There wasn't anything that sort of stood out to me. Like, from my memory,
I think that's fair here. This was a good show. It just wasn't a great show. It wasn't a show that stood out or anything. It was a show that was...
It was a fine show, yeah.
It was fine, yeah. It was like, it's a perfectly adequate show that did what it needed to do. It showed off like a good range of, like I've said, on all the showcases, or directs diverse type of games, or different type of games for every different type of player, and yeah, you can't ask for much more than that. It did what it needed to do, and you can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, it was fine. When I went back and looked at a list of the games that was shown there, I was like, oh yeah, this would look cool and this looked cool, like, you know what I mean? But it was just that case of like, I feel like for every other showcase, when I was sat down thinking about it today to make a list of games to talk about in the second half of the podcast, like I didn't need to go and look at a list to have games to write down from like every other showcase. Whereas with the Future Game Show, it was a case of, what did they show? Apart from, the only one I remembered was Stray Gods, but that was because Laura Bailey, the voice actress from Stray Gods, was there. And I remember the joke about her rapping.
I think we saw 2 things from Tribeca on this showcase, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, you tend to find that happens sometimes when there's so many different showcases. Because, like, the thing is, like, Tribeca, Wholesome, like, the smaller showcases are for different audiences. And I don't know that many people do what we do and just watch the majority of them. So they got to make sure they can. Like, you didn't watch the PC Gaming Show, and there was stuff from the PC Gaming Show that I'd seen at previous showcases.
Yeah.
But people who are PC gamers might have watched the PC Gaming Show but not watched something else, where they would have seen this game.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's cool. I don't mind repeating games like during showcases. It's cool to be reminded that they exist. Like, oh yeah, this game, I remember this. Or if you're Sony, oh yeah, this game. Wait, is that a release date? But yeah, no, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. It was fine. It was okay.
Yeah, easy 3 out of 5. It does what it needs to do. Can't ask for much more.
Awesome horse. Again, 3 out of 5 for the show, 5 out of 5 for the puns. Terrible, terrible jokes. This was how you do terrible jokes. Unlike the PC Gaming Show. Moody went into the living room. I need to set the scene. Moody went into the living room. I stayed in that room and I said, I'm going to watch the PC Gaming Show. Because I want to, because like I think there'll be some fun games there. There were definitely some cool games there. The show itself, though, it was 2 hours long, and Moody knew it was 2 hours long. So the look on his face when I walked into his living room after 40 minutes and said, "I can't do any more of this. I'm done. What are we watching?" And I think we watched a film. But I think it was Your Name. No, was it? No, it was we watched something.
Both of them on the same day.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So the PC Gaming Show, the games were good. In fact, some of the games were fantastic, and I loved seeing them. They did this thing. It was the same two hosts it's always been, Day9 and Frankie Ward, and they did this thing at the beginning where it was like, oh, the whole show is going to be jokes about AI, and I was like, okay, yeah. I can sit through an entire showcase about jokes about AI. Because AI is dumb and stupid, and like the ways people want to use it at the moment is ridiculous. But the way that they structured the jokes in the showcase, some of the jokes didn't feel like the way the jokes were landing. They didn't feel like they were jokes at the expense of AI. They felt like they were jokes at the expense of the games that they were showing. Like you'll have a joke be something like have a premise of something along the lines of, what kind of kooky, wacky AI prompt can we have come up with for a game? And then it's an actual game that developers are making and they're showing, and it's just like, you didn't make a joke about AI, you made a joke at the expense of whatever poor game you've just put up on the screen. But in the middle of all of this, shit jokes about AI that felt really mean-spirited towards the games that they were showing. About half an hour in, they showed an AI game. A game. It was an AI game. So
I am listening to you.
No. I'm just trying to collect myself, where it's just like, they did the thing that they were making fun of. So, number one, it's a fucking terrible game. It's never going to go anywhere, because it's like, what if what was it? It's like, what if you could have a tabletop role-playing game set in any universe you want, generated by AI on the fly? So like we're playing a fucking Wizard of Oz tabletop role-playing game, and it's being generated for us by AI. That was the example. And then the second example was, what if you wanted to play Star Wars? And it was like, cool, so this is going nowhere because you're never going to get the fucking license to have Star Wars in your stupid AI app. And that's the thing that AI constantly runs into. It's like, it's all fucking breaking like copyright laws. Because it's all plagiarism. But
not good.
And as much as it's a terrible fucking shit fucking app that's going nowhere, and like, shame on you for even trying to make this. Like, I felt bad for the person who was presenting this. Probably had no idea that the 30 minutes leading up to this was going to be jokes about how shit the thing that she's making is.
Yeah.
It's like the PC Gaming Show completely missed the mark on every single front. So I got to about 40 minutes in and I just walked.
She was out, people.
I was like,
she was out.
I was like, you're making fun of the games that you're showing. Probably not on purpose, but that's how it's coming across. it's shit jokes about AI, but like in terms of like, haha, isn't AI silly? Not, hey, AI is kind of a big deal. Like that could potentially ruin people's careers and lives. And yeah, I basically gave it a middle finger and walked away. So 1 out of 5. Probably worse. One of the worst showcases I've ever seen. Probably worse than the Konami E3 press conference, because at least that was entertaining to watch. Like, holy moly. Now I'm breathing in. So we're going to take a short recess because Amy needs some water. And it's water weather. And then we'll be back. We're going to talk about games that we're really excited for. I hate the fact that I put the PC gaming show last in this order because it feels like we got all the way through talking about how fun it was, and then I came in and went, but this was shit. So let's rescue it with some cool games. We'll be back momentarily. Well, I do want to say, because I just went on that diatribe, like, it wasn't aimed at any of the games at the PC gaming show. Like, they had some bangers, but the show was just fucking awful. So should we talk about games that we got excited about after seeing them at one of these summer showcases?
Yeah, why not?
And just so everyone is clear, these are the games that we are personally excited about. If a game that you're excited about doesn't show up, I don't want to hear, oh, but you forgot about this. We didn't forget about it. And it probably looked really cool. But we also need to keep our lists somewhat shorter for time's sake. You go first. I want you to go first.
I'm gonna go with the game. I'm gonna go with the game of the show, of all shows. Stray Gods. This game absolutely looks phenomenal. It looks like a ton of fun, a great little banter, great dialogue, great music, great cast. The whole shebang. It has everything. The visuals look incredible. The gameplay looks like it's going to be simple and to the point that you need it to be. And I think this game is just going to be a star. And I can't wait for it. That comes out a day after my birthday.
He's trying to remind me because I'm going to buy it from. I don't. No, wait. It's coming. Is it coming in Game Pass?
Can't remember.
No, I don't
You
think
can still
it is.
buy it from me, you know?
I'll buy it. I'll buy it on Xbox, and we can both. But then I only buy it once. But technically, it's still a gift. Yeah, no, Stray Gods. I just checked it off my list because it's definitely on there. Like, I've been excited for this game for a while, and getting to see more of it, like, just continued my excitement levels of just like, it's a role-playing musical. I love role-playing games. I love musicals. I love video games. This is all three.
Yeah.
How can I be mad about that? Can't. So yeah, my list isn't really in any sort of order. Just as like
the rest of it, not in an order.
Just as
this is my game of the show.
Just as like, oh, this is the order that I remembered.
Yeah.
So everything's probably clumped up by showcases, like for the most part, but then it gets more random towards
The rest
end.
of it is, yeah, pretty much.
But I wanted to start with, because I feel like for me, appropriately, the most appropriate place to start is the game that I backed on Kickstarter while we were still streaming. I feel like that's fair, which is Beastie Ball. It looked great, and I saw it twice. You know, I saw it at the Tribeca Spotlight, and then I saw it at the Wholesome Direct, and at the Wholesome Direct, they were like, and we're launching a Kickstarter. And I was like, cool, this game looks awesome. It's by the guys who made Chicory, A Colorful Tale, which is an amazing game. It's currently available on Game Pass. You should go play it if you haven't played it. It's fantastic. And also, like, it just looks fun. It's like a bit of Pokemon, like a bit Pokemon, but it's about like animals playing volleyball. And I don't feel like I need to say anything more than that.
Yeah. It's a great little game. Can't ask for much more. Boom, to the point.
I'm gonna love this. The Kickstarter thing said the estimated delivery for my tier was December 2024, so it's going to be a while. But when I get that sweet code, I'm going to have a great time.
Good, very good. Next one for me is I have to shout out a Highland Song by the Overboard developers. I remember that game vividly. It was obviously during the pandemic. And we were just randomly going through. I think we were both talking. We were just randomly going through, like, OpenCritic, and we were just like, what the hell's this game? An
You bought
88
it,
on
yeah.
OpenCritic? It's like a high rated, and it was just like, and I looked at it, oh, what the hell?
No,
We're locked up right now. Let's just let's buy it.
you were definitely alone when you did that, because I vividly remember opening Steam one day and finding it had randomly been added to my library,
Yeah.
and then be like, "What the hell? Where did this come from?"
Yeah. So for them, like that was just a simple game about getting away with murder. This is now completely different. It's bigger, clearly, and it's more vibrant than that one was. And I'm not saying Overboard wasn't a good-looking game. It was a good-looking game, but it was to the point of how it was structured. This one is a lot more vibrant game. You're in more control in there than you were on Overboard, and you move with some beautiful music in the background. So it's like literally, like the director or the creator literally said, it's like, I once went down on a walk into the Scotland Highlands and I got lost with my friends. And I can vividly remember that, and it was beautiful.
Let's make a game.
Let's make a fucking game. And yeah. And but like it was like I remember when we were watching it, like that vividly made me feel like remember the game that I like I wrote up for
Yeah, you mentioned this on stream.
for my college for my college that helped me get a high score in college. Was like I used my experience of almost having a heart attack a few years ago to basically use that as an experience as inspiration for a game, and he did the same, even though his is less scary. Well, I don't know, like getting lost
in the Scottish Highlands.
yeah. But I
big
almost
place.
had a heart attack. Yeah, I don't know which one's the scariest, but either way, that's just great to hear that.
Yours.
Like, those inspirations are like fantastic to see. Like, and that's what we want to see. That's when we start to see proper different type of games, and that's what we got here. This
Yeah,
is what
definitely.
I think we're gonna get here. So.
100%. Hold on, I'm just checking that off my list, because I definitely had that on my list. But yeah, I don't want like a Highland song. Like, I want to explore the Scottish Highlands, see what you've got for me. So yeah, I'm definitely in for that one. I mean, my next one is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it looks amazing. And like, it was cool to see the trailer and see parts of the game that I remember from like the 1990s, but in like 2023 graphics. And it's like, oh, cool. Like, there's the Chocobo Farm, there's the inn, there's Juno. It's like awesome. And now that there's less anxiety, because if you remember flashback to before Remake came out, there was that rising anxiety of like, what if they fuck this up? You know what I mean? Like what if it's just not great? It was great. So now it's like I've given myself permission to be more excited about this game leading up to its release early next year, which you called out quite nicely. And it just looked good.
They weren't going to release two massive Final Fantasies the same year.
Hey, they're Square Enix. They're crazy.
They're crazy, no doubt. But I didn't think it would get. Both one of them would get completely overshadowed by the other, and I think it would be 16 that would get overshadowed by 7.
Yeah. Like, I think that's why it probably wasn't at the PlayStation thing, because they're like, whole focus is Final Fantasy 16 coming out this month. So, but yeah, no, it was just great to see it, and it was a fun experience to be on a couch with you when the trailer was happening, and for me to explain the ending, like the big twist of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which you didn't know about, to then watch you go, oh, okay. And to me go, right?
Yeah, because I literally just thought it was just a straight remake.
Yeah, which is definitely
they
not.
Actually changed stuff, which is really smart of them to do. And like it's basically them saying, you've already got the game.
Yeah, you've already done this.
This is a new one. And I didn't know that, so that's fantastic. So I still say it'll end with Thingy dying.
I mean, look, in 2020, me and my friend did a spoiler cast after finishing FF7 Remake, and a big chunk of it is going, so what do you think is going to happen? and the resounding, like, I mean, I'm not going to say what my theory was, because it's a massive spoiler for future Final Fantasy VII games. But like the resounding sort of theory was, I think you're mostly going to get the big memorable moments from Final Fantasy VII still, just maybe slightly tweaked or slightly different. But like they're not going to take away like the big moments of Final Fantasy VII just because they can. that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be a good idea. But no, it's cool, and I was like, we'd figured out that we were going to see it before the showcase, and that it was definitely going to be at that specific show. But it was still cool to see it. So,
well, they weren't going to be at Xbox. Sorry, Xbox players. You get 16s. No, you're not even getting 16 blushes. Oh, blushes. No Final Fantasy for you.
No Final Fantasy for you on Xbox. What's your next one?
Yeah, Final Fantasy was also on my list as well. I just want to say that. Next one for me is okay. This one's a difficult one for me. So, Elefagi, the Swift Warrior, I think. Lys.
Oh yeah, I didn't write this down, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Furiagi?
It's basically a Metroidvania shadow clone game.
Shadow clone game.
Yeah, basically you die and then you create another person. You've got an extra person to help you fight.
Yeah, and they do the thing that you did, and you just create. Yeah.
And that was just that was just like, that looks awesome. Looked awesome. It did. It was one of the big things that came out of. I think it was shown. Yeah, at the Summer Games Fest.
It was at Summer Games Fest. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it was a thing that stood out for me, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it visually looks just like I said, I stated throughout. I think the entire, not the entire every showcase basically.
Sure.
I enjoyed the big spectacular 60 frames per second type of games. There's some beautiful games out there, but if you give me something different and unique than that, I will always go towards that than the 60 frames per second high 4K thing, unless it's a 4K film. That's just before.
It's a 4K film. As I found out this past week, Moody's obsessed with 4K films. Yeah, no, it was cool. Like, it's an interesting concept because it's like, it's going to be cool to try and sort of like strategize your deaths as like a gameplay mechanic, but also know that like there's an upper limit, right? Because eventually, like, you're going to die so much and have so many shadow clones, you're just going to be able to brute force your way through anything you get stuck at, because eventually there's just going to be so many copies of you smashing all the enemies, like, eventually you're going to get through.
Hell yeah.
So that's cool. My next one, I can't believe I'm going to give this game a shout out. Sonic Superstars?
Superstars.
I can't believe
this look.
I can't believe I'm shouting out a Sonic game, but here I am.
On my list as well.
Here I am. Like, it's just like, it's a 2D Sonic. It's a proper 2D Sonic, and it seems like it's brand new. Like, I was reading about it after the showcase, so like, it's not like a Sonic Mania where it's basically just all the levels that you know, and then they added a few more. It's like all the levels in this game are brand new. Like, they're all new designed. It's a big co-op game where you get to play as Sonic or Tails or Knuckles or Amy. They all have their different abilities, and it looks like there's different like mini games in there as well as like the platforming stuff. And by the time we watched this trailer, both me and you looked at each other and said, "We're going to play a Sonic game."
Oh shit, we're playing a
Sonic game. We spent 2022 taking the piss out of Frontiers, and now we're sitting here in 2023 going, we're playing a Sonic game.
Actually, did I take the piss out of Frontiers? I took the piss out of Sonic 2.
Probably not. You took the piss out of the film. That's probably what I'm thinking of. I actually watched the speedrun of Sonic Frontiers. It was very entertaining.
Very good, very good.
But yeah, Sonic Superstars.
Sonic Superstars.
Didn't see that coming.
No, we did not. Next up for me is Cocoon, from the lead gameplay designer of Limbo and Inside. I'm going to read off what it says on Steam. Cocoon takes you on an adventure across worlds within worlds, master world-leaping mechanics, and solve puzzles to unravel a cosmic mystery. Back to basically what I said on the last one. Give me a different art style, I'm going towards that instantly, and this just looks absolutely breathtaking. It's literally, you can see the inspiration from like from visually to like from Inside and everything, but like they've really changed it up because it's a top-down game where you're moving these spheres or cocoons, I'm guessing they're going to call them in this game.
Yeah, they're basically orbs.
To try and unlock the worlds and learn about this cosmic mystery you want to try and get to, and this just looks absolutely incredible. It's going to be published by Annapurna Interactive, who basically just 9 times out of 10 drops banger after banger.
My prediction of an Annapurna Interactive showstopper didn't come off, but that might be because the main thing they announced was they're doing their own showcase.
Yeah, which is the end of the month.
End of the month. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll just watch that then.
It looked like a very pretty game.
Awesome. I can't wait to see more about it in a few weeks. My next one is a very obvious one. It's Alan Wake 2. When they said it was gonna be at Summer Game Fest, I thought, cool, we're gonna see the trailer again. And then it was like, no, you're gonna see gameplay. And I was like, cool. I'm interested because Alan Wake's gameplay notoriously not amazing. Like, even as somebody who loves Alan Wake, I'll sit here and readily admit that game's not great to play. So like looking at it, obviously without a controller in my hand, but looking at it, it looked smooth. You know, it looked nice to play. And then there was the revelation that, you know, you freely switch between the two protagonists, between Saga and between Alan, and like there's no like right way through the game.
Yeah.
So like you can do like a level or chapter or whatever as Alan, or you can do it as Saga, or you can flick between the two of them. And that sounds like I'm gonna end up playing this game like 3 times. back to back. It's one of the reasons why I'm not committing to playing any big games around that time, because I'm like, Alan Wake 2's coming out.
Wake 2's a big game, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like big as in long.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Alan Wake's on my list as well. I haven't played Alan Wake 1. I'm not going to lie. I'm not intending to play Alan Wake 1 because I'm just going to crack straight onto Alan Wake 2 because it sold me on one thing that this game apparently is different from the first one, which I did not know. It's a survival horror game. I love myself some survival horror if it's done right. And
the first one wasn't. Yeah, a lot of people think it was, probably because it is a horror game, like in terms of like, you know, horror, right? Horrible things happening, but it was more of an action focused game.
I won't lie, I thought that. I won't lie, I admit that. So that's on me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It looked visually stunning. Well done to the team for that, and I am looking forward to it. I think they have potentially got a banger here.
Can't wait.
Next up, the thing that started Summer Games Fest. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. A Metrovania, Prince of Persia.
It's on my list too. Would you believe?
It's on my list, yeah. It looked absolutely brilliant. And going off from a person who we'd watched and everything, and the people who he's spoken to, like what he's played of it, skill up, says it's brilliant. He says that he had a lot of fun with it, and he says he's really got this is on his radar for the future. And that's what you can't ask for much more of that. I know I've heard things like he says he's heard things like online saying people
people didn't like it. People got mixed on it. Like
it's like
why?
Why?
Like it's not for you. You know, if a 2D Metroidvania is not for you, then it's not for you. But
yeah,
it's for me.
Yeah, like I'm always mixed on Metrovanias. Like it works for me or they don't. Like I loved Death's Door. I loved Tunic, Dead Cells, and whatnot. But others I haven't really clicked with. But this one, like, I just like love the art style, different, unique. And like the last time we saw Prince of Persia was the remake of a Prince of Persia, and everyone shat on it. And I mean, everyone shat on it. So
it didn't look great.
To see a game where it's just like this looked good. It looked clean. I saw the gameplay of it. It just looked clean. It was like really canny. So you can't ask for much more than this.
Yep, it looked good. Like you said everything that I would probably have said. Like it was like sometimes like the surprise gets you like more excited. Where it's like, oh, it's a Prince of Persia game. And like there's a part of my brain that goes, click, I don't need to really pay attention to this, but I'm still watching it. And then somewhere through the trailer my brain unclicks and goes, wait a minute. I should be paying attention to this. Because it looks good. And that was a surprise, and it was a nice surprise. So my next one, I'm throwing in another one where I was like, I would never have guessed I was gonna put this in here. City Skylines 2
on my list as well. We both were like, this looks good.
This looks really good. Like my eyes tend to gloss over during like building games like that. Actually, most building games in general, but like building games like that, just because I tend to find them too complex, and I get frustrated trying to play them. But like, I looked at this; it looks incredible, like from a graphical standpoint. It's on Game Pass, which helps because I can just download it when it comes out. But like, yeah, it was just like, the main way you seem to be building the city is by just drawing like lines of stuff and grids of things. So I was like, okay, maybe this is accessible to me as someone who doesn't like the overall complexity of city building games. But like, it did what we were talking about before about the Starfield Direct. I saw it start, and then by the time the trailer finished, I was like, I want to play that. So it did its job.
Most of its job is that because you're still going to wait for me to see how it goes.
Well, with Starfield, I'm waiting to see how it is.
Yeah,
With Cities,
yeah.
I'm just probably going to download it and then not play it.
Yeah, true. City Skylanders looked really entertaining. It did. It looked like it could be just a fun thing just to sit back and chill and like listen to some music on the background, and that's like basically I like the sound of that personally. I'm gonna stick in the Xbox Showcase realm for a bit now.
I'm gonna be in the Xbox Showcase for a while.
Yeah. Well, I've got a few on there as well. I've already spoken about Starfield, so I'll touch that later. I want to go with this one. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wrath. Infinite Wealth.
And I know that because I just checked it off on my list.
Yeah. It's Like a Dragon. Like the last Like a Dragon was the first Like a Dragon that got me into the franchise. Thanks to Amy as well. Amy's playing for it and like recommending it. I played it. I absolutely fell in love with it. And I fell in love with the characters. I didn't really get to finish it because it is a massive game at the time. But then when the next thing I played after that was, for that genre, was Lost Judgment 2, which I adored for it. So Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth to see. I loved the dynamic, how the trailer was very structured, that you saw the Americans were all speaking English, but he was obviously speaking Japanese.
Yeah, because he didn't speak for a while and everyone was speaking English, and your brain doesn't twig to think, well, this trailer should be in Japanese because you're watching an English showcase. So
yeah,
it was when he spoke and you go, wait a minute.
Yeah. And that was so good. I had a lot. It was just a fun. It was just the trailer, no gameplay or anything like that. But it was fun, and we're getting a Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth next year.
Yeah, early next year. Did they say early next year?
Yeah, basically early. Next year, I think.
That's awesome. Because Ishin was a different thing entirely, a spin-off. And then the next game is Gaiden, and that's also a spin-off, but. Because it stars Kiryu, I think it's setting up because he's going to be in Infinite Wealth. Basically, it's a great time to be a fan of Like a Dragon.
Or for Japanese RPGs, yeah.
Yeah.
For you've got some banging looking games coming in like the next 12 months, potentially, and that's great to see.
So I loved Like a Dragon. Because they changed the name of the series, it gets really confusing. Because they also called one of their games Yakuza Like a Dragon. But Yakuza Like a Dragon was my first Yakuza game. Yeah. I'd played Judgment and before that because that was a good entry point for me into that whole world and vibe. And I really loved Yakuza Like a Dragon. So I'm really excited for the next one, which is what we saw, Infinite Wealth. It was just good to see him again. And good to know that we're doing another one, and so I'm going to be excited. Hope we might see more tonight. By the time this podcast goes out, we might have already been like, "Hey, look, gameplay."
Is there a thing tonight? Is there?
Yeah, the studio's having their own showcase tonight. I think it's tonight. Sometime today. It's a Thursday thing, which is the day that we're recording. But yeah, no. So even without that, it was like, fucking, this was cool. Great to see, and that was also on my list. But my next one, I'll stick with the Xbox Showcase, Clockwork Revolution. The final game that was shown at the Xbox Showcase, In Exile's next game. As I said on stream, at the same time as somebody in chat said it, more or less, looks very Bioshocky.
I think they've had to come out and say something about that.
Did they?
I think they have.
I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. It looks really, really good. Like, we got to see the trailer and the gameplay. It's a first-person shooter. It's by the development team that made Wasteland 3, and I really liked Wasteland 3, like, quite a bit. It annoys me that it got slept on somewhat, especially
It
for
really
a game,
did. It
especially
really,
when it's in
really
Game
did,
Pass.
yeah.
It's just like it was some of the most entertaining writing in a game in 2020, and it was even though it was a long game because it was like a classic RPG. It was very breezy. Like I never felt like it was overly long or overly stretched. And I just had a good time with it. And so I'm excited for anything that the developer does next. And Clockwork Revolution looks like it's right up my street. So I'm really, really looking forward to whatever this game is.
Yeah, not on my list, that one, but you could see the inspiration from Bioshock, no doubt about it. At least Infinite. Yeah, I look forward to you reviewing it and hearing from you, and hopefully maybe your inspiring
Moody,
review
play
will
it,
make
play
me
it,
go.
play it, Moody, play it,
Yeah,
play it,
Moody. That's just a review, Moody. Just play
that's
it.
play. Just play the fucking thing.
Fucking play the game. I'm gonna stick.
Oh, we're gonna be
in
here
the
for
Japanese RPGs area. What we thought might have been Persona 6. I think it's Metamorph.
Metaphor Fantasio.
Yeah.
I'm now going to check that off my list.
Yeah. Absolutely looked brilliant. It looked clean. It looked a bonkers adventure game. And like, I've not really landed on the Persona developers vibes yet. Like I tried 5, just wasn't for me. It was just ultimately it was just you're too big. You're too fucking big. Just shrink it down, please.
No can do. That's not how the game structure works.
That's not how that game is structured. No, whatsoever. I think the next one's going to be even bigger. Probably.
This one's going to be
but
the
this
same.
one is probably going to be massive as well. Probably bigger than 5. But no, yeah. I want to give these games a go. I want to give it a try, and I'm going to give this a try next year. I'm looking forward to it. It's just exciting times. Like this was just great. Like Japanese RPGs could be a fucking banger next year, me. It could be an absolute banger. We've already had one banger this year that I reviewed of what's on the podcast. We've got another one later on this year, which I might talk about in a minute.
Because I reviewed one on the podcast as well.
What, this year?
Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler 2, yeah. That's true.
It's a great time to be a fan of that specific subgenre.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I didn't mean to take the wind out of your sails there.
Did not take the wind out of my
I just
sails.
wanted to remind everyone that Octopath Traveler 2 exists and you can play it. And you should, because it's really good.
Check out the review by Amy.
Yeah. But no, Metaphor Fantasia was on my list. Like, I think it helps that that game reveal was helped enormously by the fact that the leak beforehand was only for Persona 3 and Persona 5 Tactica. So when Atlas's logo showed up for a third time, it was like, wait, what? There's more? Because this didn't leak. So I think that helped this game because everyone thought we've seen the Atlas things. Fair enough. And then this showed up and it was like, oh, it's like they're making a fantasy RPG.
Wasn't it? Didn't it come out that they shared it by accident on Instagram, Persona 3 Remake?
Yeah, they published it on Instagram.
I'm going to say this right now. I'm calling bullshit right away. I'm saying you did that fucking on purpose to literally make everyone look over there while you're preparing this fucker.
It's a good idea because I think it definitely made people pay more attention to Metaphor.
No doubt about it. They bought 3 games at Xbox, and that's just incredible to see.
I love the look of all of them.
Earlier.
But this was my of those 3 games. This was my highlight.
I think it's probably that. Probably there's the biggest highlight from Xbox's showcase. I think overall. Probably even for me, like I'm keep it like I said, Xbox itself. Xbox Showcase, Starfield Direct.
I've got one more. I've technically got 2 more Xbox. One's not a game. I was saving it for
One's
later.
not a game.
Yeah, I'll just do it now, and then I'll do my last Xbox Showcase game, since it's my turn next anyway. It was just the Game Pass announcements from the extended showcase, because we were playing Life is Strange, I think, and I had the extended showcase on your monitor, and I looked across, and it was doing a sizzle reel of like, these games are coming to Game Pass, and I was like, I remember going like this, Moody, look, that Sea of Stars is coming to Game Pass. Moody, look, this game's coming to Game Pass, and like I was like, these games are all cool. So like, that for me, that was one of the highlights of the thing, because I was just like, these cool games are all coming to a thing that I have, so I can just download them when they come out. But my next game, sort of, Sea of Thieves, Return to Monkey Island.
I have it on my list. It's on my list. Monkey Island, yeah, definitely.
Now, I might have been a bit of a heel when it was announced, and as the person who's been playing Sea of Thieves for 4 years. You all want to play Sea of Thieves with me now, etc., etc. But this looks like fun.
You're never gonna let that go, are you?
Never, ever gonna let that go. But yeah, no, like, this looks like fun. I can't wait to do it. Like, it'll be fun to play as like someone who's never really played Monkey Island, because Monkey Island always looks fun. I just always have to be in the very specific mindset of adventure games to actually like sit down and play it. Whereas this is Monkey Island coming to my house, like, oh, it's going to be in Sea of Thieves, which means like it's a game that I already play. So I'll just sail out and do the Monkey Island stuff. And it was just a good trailer as well.
Yes, really was.
I'm done with the Xbox showcase, but you can keep going. He's thinking.
It was already leaked, but let's continue with the Japanese RPG Persona 3 remake.
Okay, cool.
So, I've never played them, but I hear this is one of the best ones, story-wise at least. So there's a chance I might give this one a go and everything. So, like I said, its plan is to showcase it there to raise my expectations. And every time we saw Atlas, we both sat up. And I'm not an Atlas game player that much. Like, I've only started to really get into them with the and everything, and it's just like, yes. But like, like when you see Atlas, you have to stand up, I think, or really sit up for it, because it's like these people 9 times out of 10 knock it out of the park all the time, and they're remaking dubbed one of their best games. Nothing wrong with that.
Hell yeah, cool. It's not on my list, but I'm going to put my foot slightly down on the accelerator now. But my next game was from the PC gaming show.
Oh, God.
Citizen Sleeper 2, a sequel to. Was it last year it came out? I think it.
Yes.
Yeah, to one of my favorite games of last year.
Fantastic.
So I was like,
I didn't realize that was announced.
Yeah, where was it? A showcase you didn't watch. And I didn't
normally would talk about doing me.
I didn't talk about it for reasons that should be obvious by now, Moody.
Because they said, at least I got sleep.
Mate, as shit as that, as annoying and frustrating and awful as that showcase was, I've got like 5 games from it.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, this was one of them. Citizen Sleeper 2. Like, again, I can't say much more than it's a sequel to a game I fucking love, and I can't wait to do it again. So there.
I'll finish off Xbox. We've already spoken about it, but I'll finish off the speaking about Starfield. It's made me want to play this game. Fair play to them. Can't ask for much more than this. Starfield for the win for it. I'll be, like I say, joke again. Happily give it 7 out of 10. Or 3 out of 10. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 10.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
I'm hiding.
We won't survive. Don't do that.
Yeah, I give it, like, I cannot wait to be building my own ship. I can't. I really can't. That alone sold me pretty much on a lot of it. And it does seem like, even though they didn't really show much about it, which was really irritating to me, the third-person shooter mechanics do look like they are a lot better than normal for a Bethesda game, so I'm hoping this one is going to flow really well because I'll probably play it mostly in third-person shooter,
Sure.
third-person mode.
Yeah.
That's it for Xbox for me.
Well, mine's technically related to Xbox, but it's mostly from the Wholesome Direct. But it was also one of the games that was announced to come in a Game Pass later, which is Me Nicholas Night Market, which I don't have much more to say about than it looks fucking great, and every time I see it, I'm reminded that it's coming out this year, and I really want to play it. That's it. Like I said, I'm hitting the accelerator a bit now.
I expect you want to speed up a little bit. All right. I've only picked one from Day of the Devs right now, so Day of the Devs. Summer Hill. Looks amazing. Can't wait to give this a go. Really looking forward to this game. Gimme it, gimme.
Gimme. I mean, that's what you want out of a trailer, right? To react with gimme.
Give me what I want, what I really, really want.
I'm going to shout out Chance of Sonor, because that was one of the games that when it went into this Tribeca spotlight, I knew the name of it. And I didn't know what kind of game it was. And then I watched the reveal, and they were explaining how it was like based on the Tower of Babel, and like different floors were different cultures, and they all spoke different languages, and the game was figuring out how to communicate. And I was like, you know what I thought, Moody? I heard your voice in my head go, Amy Amy game. And I was like, I agree. That is an Amy Amy game.
Sticking to Day of the Devs. Eat. E-T-E?
It's French.
It is a relaxing painting game that mixes exploration, creativity, and story elements. This looked breathtaking. Visually, just breathtaking, and I can't ask for much more than that.
I've got another one from the Wholesome Direct. Gauntlets, which was a very, very cute pastel-colored city builder, where the gauntlets are the little creatures, and you put down all the buildings and things for them, and then they just come along and they just do stuff. And it's like there's no like objectives or like anything like that. You just build a town for these cute little things to move into.
Yeah. Back to Summer Games Fest. Sorry, I put it in there. I apologize.
Not Summer Games Fest.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The game that blew mine and Amy's mind.
Sonic?
Pal World.
Oh, I'm so obsessed with this game. But not for good reasons.
It's more, how have you got away with this?
How? I'm going to think about this game for
it's
years.
It's literally a Pokemon ripoff. That's it. Nothing more.
Like, yeah.
But the only difference is they've given them guns.
Like, normally I don't like when people use the term ripoff, but this is justified. There are Pokemon in this game. They look like Pokemon.
Yes, I could literally call out and say, well, you look like Meowth, you look like Pikachu, you look like this.
You are a Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm interested in it. I won't lie, I'm eagerly fascinated by this game. It's like early access, I think early next year, I think. So.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
So
I can't get it out of my mind. Station to Station would be my next one. It's that voxel game where you just build in train tracks.
Oh yeah,
saw it like twice, but it looks really cool, really cozy and really chill. And like I said to you on stream, I wonder if it's just voxels. Like, I wonder if I personally just react really positively to games built with voxels.
You did say that
because I think that might be the case.
Fantastic. What am I doing here?
How many more have you got?
How many more have I got? Wait, this game's already come out? I'm really confused.
Focus.
Oh, so what? Is it just coming to
Focus?
All right, I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that one out. Sorry. That's Meg. Sticking with Summer Games Fest, the last one from Summer Games Fest. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Can't ask for much more. I was sold like it. Like a Dragon was my favorite game this year. Ishin. And I can't wait to give that a go.
Become the biggest Yakuza fan. Let me ask you again. How many games have you got left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, you've got way more than me. Okay. My next one is
How many each? How many more have I got? I can smash through 5.
my next game is a weird concept. Ebenezer and the Invisible World, which is you play as Ebenezer Scrooge in a Metroidvania in Victorian London.
Hold on.
The PC gaming show.
No, okay, that's my answer. The name itself just makes me go, wait, that sounds interesting, but then I'm thinking, wait,
Huh?
where was that? Yeah, I can't remember that.
You would have remembered it if you'd seen it for sure. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Back to Tribeca, The Expanse. I literally can't wait for this game. It looks so good. I am looking forward to playing this, playing as this character again, and just working with, playing, going through the story. It's a prequel before this show, and it's by one of my favorite. It's helped by one of my favorite team, co-developed by the new Telltale Games and Deck 9. And if you all know who Deck 9 is, they're the ones who basically created one of my favorite games of all time, which me and Amy were replaying. That while she was down here, Life is Strange: True Colors. So I can't. If we get the same type of storytelling that we got from that, we could be in for a banger here.
Absolutely good. My next one is Pacific Drive from the Feature Games show. Which I'd already known about. It was like, oh, you spooky drive through roads. And I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting. And then they were like, oh, we've actually expanded the game.
About that one.
We've actually expanded the game where it's like, now you get out of the car and you got to fix your car and scavenge for stuff for your car. And I was like, oh, shit, this is awesome. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, Pacific Drive.
Oh, yeah, we were both like, this is actually really good.
Okay. Like, you had my interest, and now you definitely have my attention.
You got our money, basically.
You already have my money now. Thanks.
Take our money. Yeah, take. Next one is just a cozy game from the Day of the Dev, Simpler Times. This just looked such a great fun. Simpler Times is an experimental interactive meditation that rewards patience and attention for moments of gameplay with favorite songs, and it's beautiful. It looked lovely. Wishlisted today. Let's just say it. Wishlist all these games. Okay, all the games we're saying. Wishlist these fuckers.
And this was on my list too because
fabulous.
And I remember specifically, like, it was a great game, but I remember specifically I'd gone out for a break. And then I came back, you stepped out. This was the game that came on while you were out of the room. And I remember sitting there and I was like, I have to tell Moody about this. He's going to love this. And then I forgot. And I'm guessing you looked it up and saw it on the list and went, what's this?
Yep.
Yeah. Moody asked Moody game. I think I said that on the stream when you were gone. Yeah. My next one and my second last one that I've got is... actually, no, we're going to go Mariachi Legends because it's the PC game and show one. The reveal trailer alone. Like, I don't know too much about what the game actually is, but the reveal trailer was very stylish. Because, again, it came up in a showcase that at that point, I think I was mostly not paying attention to. But it's very cool. And I'm looking forward to it. Like, the trailer was, like, very visually stylish and stunning. And it's pixel art, so
fabulous. Speaking of a game that I didn't see because I was out of the room, Haunty.
Yep, that was the other one.
An adventure in which you uncover the secrets of an expansive and mysterious world, haunting both the environment and its denizens to craft in solutions to many challenges that await you. I'm rewatching the trailer right now on Steam. Looks breathtaking.
Basically, I don't think you could have walked out at a worse moment.
Yeah, probably.
It looks interesting for sure. My final one is Viewfinder, which shouldn't be a surprise because I've been talking about this game for a while. It's gonna be my favorite puzzle game of the year. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be one of my favorite puzzle games I've ever played. From the concept alone. which I'm not going to attempt to explain because it's incredibly difficult to explain with words. You should just go watch the trailer and it'll click for you instantly. And if you know me, then you'll know why I'm really excited to get my hands on it.
3 left for me, and the last one from Day of the Devs is Sea Salt Chronicles. From the store page from Steam, it begins with the kidnapped captain and a stolen ship. Where it leads next? Where does it lead next? And that's up to you. In this story-driven adventure, you will explore strange and wonderful communities, uncover deep conspiracies, blah blah blah, etc. etc. This art style looks amazing. This came across very reminiscent to Overboard for me. Just how it's like art style type look, and it just looks breathtaking again. Just like all of them have.
Yeah.
Great. Penultimate one is. I just want to make sure I have got this right. So just give us 2 seconds. Have a look. 2 seconds. Sorry, wrong one.
Yep.
Game.
Preparation.
I got preparation. Even. Nightscape. Nightscape.
Oh,
that's the next one for me. Using the stars to direct yourself, basically, to get along into the game and everything. It just a new mechanic that the belly has been. I don't think it's really been used to that level, and it's just breathtaking.
Yeah, that was the
beautiful.
Not horoscopes. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Constellation. The Constellation
Constellations.
Game.
Yeah. And the last but not least, gotta give a shout out to the teens from Volcano High. Goodbye, Volcano High. Dude, we've been waiting for this for since it was revealed at the PlayStation show, PS5 show. Looks breathtaking, looks brilliant, looks like a lot of fun. Just looks like it's going to be a scrumptious game to really get into, and just see characters. Hopefully, it's the end of the world for them, but not only figuratively because there's a meteor coming, but obviously because it's the end of the year for them. It's their last year in school, and they're moving on to obviously to other different pastures, and what will that entail? And it looks beautiful and looks like a lot of fun.
It's the old, let's take a high school metaphor but make it literal. With a meteor. And it's this game stars dinosaurs and there's a meteor. Well, we know how this is going to end. Which they addressed in the thing of the thing, which was fun. I like that. Yeah. I have one more actually. It's a funny one. It's just Dead. I want to shout out Dead Cells because I played a shitload of Dead Cells during all of this, and then bought all the DLC so I could play it at home. With all the DLC, it got me through because Moody goes to bed at super early and I don't, so I needed something to do.
11 o'clock is early. Jesus,
it is for me. And yeah, that was it. Games.
Like we've already stated, wishlist all these.
What were yours? Did we miss some that you really liked? Let us know. Let me know, I guess. I'll relay that to Moody.
Let us know the games that you want to shout out.
Yeah. Because they were probably, like I said at the top of us talking about games, they were probably cool, and we didn't miss them, I promise. There was tons more I could shout out. But, you got to keep things timely when you're recording a podcast. And Moody gets cranky if we go too long.
I do indeed.
So we're going to go to our usual last couple of sections of the podcast. What's happening next week? What is happening next week? We've got a lot actually happening next week. There's a lot of games coming out. I've narrowed. We've got the 2 biggest ones. Well, the one big one is Final Fantasy 16. That's coming out next week.
Yeah.
That's kind of the big game. It's not the big game of June. There are multiple big games of June, but it's certainly the big game that's coming out next week. I don't know if I have a lot to say about it in terms of, am I excited? Am I not? I don't know. I'm in some kind of weird quantum state where I'm just acknowledge its oncoming presence. And then we'll see what happens when I've put a controller in my hand. Aliens Dark Descent's also coming out next week, but sorry.
Oh, sorry. Final Fantasy 16. I am really so unsure about that game.
I don't know.
I really, really am. The new gameplay style that they've chosen for basically from 15 onwards hasn't really clicked with me. I didn't click with 15. Um, 16 just seems like it's pretty much the same thing, but you can do kaiju battles. That's a selling point, I guess. But that's why I don't think I really clicked with Final Fantasy VII Remake either, because it's basically like the same type of combat, and I'm not really clicking with it yet.
I guess I've seen a lot. Yeah, I guess I've seen a lot about Final Fantasy 16, and I guess why I'm in this weird state of being both not excited but excited, which is canceling each other out, is I don't know anything about it. Like, I've seen tons, but I don't know how how it plays, what it expects from me, what's the point, what's the story, what am I trying to do, and who are the characters. Yeah, I've seen trailers and gameplay reveals and more trailers, and I'm like, I know the name, and you can do kaiju fights, and the main guy is called Clive. That's basically all of the information that's sunk in.
Boringest name.
Why'd you call Clive, man? Just fucking Clive. Yeah. So we'll see. It's not. It's at the point now, Moody, where it's like I don't even know if I'm gonna play it the day it comes. Especially since Diablo arrived this morning.
Yes. What have you got that on?
PS5.
Oh, thank God.
Well, I can't get it on Xbox. I have trouble putting the disc in my Xbox. There's no disc drive. Yeah, if I'm ever renting a game, it's on PS5. But yeah,
Mine arrived yesterday as well.
On PS5?
I've got it installed on PS5, ready to go.
Give me a few hours to install it.
Hell yeah.
I'll hit you up later tonight. But yeah, like I just don't know. Like, and I've been feeling this for a while, where it's like I'm looking at our calendar and all the games releasing, and especially this past week, because we've added so many games to the next couple of weeks. And then Final Fantasy 16 is just sitting in the middle of it, and I'm like, I'm getting less and less sure that I'm actually going to sit down and play this, like, as a top priority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not a priority list for me.
Yeah.
Like, I have it prepped on my Boomerang. I'm tempted to cancel it. Just to think of, like, I've got Street Fighter 6. I've got Diablo 4.
Yeah.
I've got Zelda now.
Yeah.
I've got Aliens Dark Descent, which I'm looking fucking forward to have a go at.
And even, like, sorry, I want to move on to Descent when you just said that, but, like, yeah, like, even disregarding, like, other new games that are out, like, around Final Fantasy, I've still got tons of Zelda to play, which I'm really enjoying. But yeah, no, obviously, the other big game for us, or for you, is Aliens Dark Descent is coming out next week.
That's because I'm an Aliens nerd. I love the Aliens franchise. The bad ones as well. I know. I'm stupid. I get over it. Yeah, I can't wait for this. I hope it's good. I just hope it's going to be a fun time. Like, I didn't really get what I wanted out of Fireteam Elite. Just bored me by the end.
But I feel like you knew that going in, you were probably not going to get what you wanted out of that game.
Yeah, true. I knew what I was getting. I knew it was going to be a hard mode game, and I don't really click with them. And I think it was just basically just like, I'm playing this because it's an Alien game.
I'm waiting for the novelty of using a pulse gun to wear off.
Yeah, how long playing with a pulse rifle is going to wear off?
Yeah,
about 3 days. I think me and Fox has smashed it a lot.
You streamed it. I remember watching.
Yeah,
I remember going through the streams for clips. So I definitely remember you streaming it.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! My phone's like, "Hey, a new game has come out on Steam," and I'm like, "Leave me alone! I've got too many."
Go away!
Fuck off. What else is happening next week? There's a new video coming out on the channel next week. We'll see if I hit publish on it next week. Mooney knows why I'm in two minds about hitting publish on it, but I feel like I just need to get it out at some point. And next
week, dropped it last week, or this week, so when you were down into peace and quiet.
Yeah, no, but we were streaming, so I didn't want to. The peace and quiet might not have come because people might have clicked the link that says, "Hey, we're on Twitch." But what else is happening next week? Steam Next Fest is happening next week. So tons of indie game demos for Amy to. I've settled into a rhythm with Steam Next Fest where I just pick a day and just download a demo, play it, delete it, download another demo, you know what I mean? And I go through this sort of like cycle through an entire day of doing it. So I'll be doing that. you should do it as well. It's really fun to just go through demos on Steam Next Fest if you get a chance. What I might do for the podcast next week is I might have depending on like how much we're trying to put in the podcast, I might make an expanded indie game of the week. Because obviously I might be playing a lot more than one demo. So I might just like there might be like 5 or 6 indie games of the week next week just because of the nature of Steam Next Fest. And I'll probably also do is I might make like a Twitter thread or something of just like all of the demos that I'm playing, and then I'll link it in Discord when it's done so Moody can see that it's happening because he's not on Twitter anymore. And then I go, look at all these games.
That's true.
Because I'm very considerate as a friend.
That is true.
Or I might just tell you, like I could just text you.
Yeah, you could just do that. You got me.
I've got the means. I'll tell you all playing Diablo.
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, no. Should we do some OpenCritic Head-To-Head before we get the fuck out of here?
Why not?
Cool. So it's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game that we play every week, more or less. Haven't played it for a little while. And where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever guesses closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Now, we don't have any outstanding ones, I don't think. Because we were prepping for E3 and stuff.
Don't we? I thought we did.
I think so. Oh, we do. Yeah, we do. No, it's fine. We do. It'll take me 2 seconds to sort out. So, yeah, a few weeks ago... I know we didn't do any last week, but we did some 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of 2 games. The first one was Amnesia: The Bunker, which I guessed would get an 81. Sorry, I'm trying to do this on the fly. And OpenCritic is not cooperating. I've typed Amnesia: The Bunker
on 76.
And it came up with some game called Teddy something. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? So you do this, I'll do this. So I guessed it would get an 81, Moody guessed it would get 78, and at the time of recording, Amnesia: The Bunker has
76,
which gives Moody a point. Breaking hard. I'll still play it. That was what I was gonna play when I was down at yours.
I've got it installed.
Before I realized I don't want to play a horror. I don't want to play a fucking horror game down in here.
What's the next one?
And the next one was Mask of the Roz. I already know the result of this. I guessed it would get an 85. Moody guessed it would get an 88. At the time of recording, it has a 74.
Yeah.
It has a scream.
Mask of the Rose. 74.
Yeah, which gives Amy the point. I mean, that's a point I gladly would have ceded, but it's only got 3. It's only got 3 reviews.
4.
Oh.
On OpenCritic.
I had 3 when I checked last.
It's 5.
You went so high on it because the previous games by this developer were roundabout where we went in terms of the...
Was it?
Yes, in terms of the OpenCritic. Right.
Fair.
So I'm going to do this in my phone and transfer it later. So we've got 3 games we're going to do OpenCritic's score guesses for.
God.
This week. The first one, no surprise, is Final Fantasy 16. And I think... What do I think Final Fantasy 16 is going to get? I'm going to go with 90. I feel like it's going to review. I feel like it's going to review extremely well. Yeah.
88 never fails.
I feel like what I think... It's
going to go right in the middle. It's going to go at 89, isn't it?
I feel like whatever I think about Final Fantasy 16 doesn't really matter. And I've seen the previews. I've seen people talking about it. I've seen people talking about the demo that's out. I feel like it's going to review way better than what I think. It's going to hit for me personally. Moody, I hate to do this to you. But the next game we're going to guess the OpenCritic average of is Aliens Dark Descent.
Oh, easy, 97. It's going to be the highest rated game of the year. Do not put that down.
Final answer?
Well, no.
In honor of this being an Aliens game, I will allow you to guess first. This is your shit. This is your franchise.
This is my franchise.
There's an alien board game behind you.
I want to have a look at something.
And because I was physically in that room for a week, I know that there's an Alan Ripley poster just off to the side of him.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't want to insult him.
Fuck me, Lord Jesus!
Just think, if you hadn't gotten your way and we did one game a week, this never would have happened.
That's not annoying me. Don't worry. That doesn't bother me. I'm happy with doing more games a week. I'm going to be positive.
Go for it.
80.
That's pretty positive. I'm aware of the fact that Moody is a massive Aliens fan.
You can go as low as you want. I will not be offended.
I'm just kidding. Because I feel like I'm insulting the devs at this point. I feel like 70 is probably around about where I think it's going to land.
So the 75 then, right in the middle.
We've got one more.
Oh, sweet.
Crash Team Rumble is coming out next week.
What's it? Oh, is that the Crash Team Mario Kart?
No, it's the fighting game. It's the Smash Brothers one, I think, isn't it? Crash Team Racing is the Mario Kart one. This time they've taken in their inspiration from something else.
Okay.
Really, we both just saw a trailer for this.
Yeah, and I completely forgot about it. We saw a lot of trailers. Leave me alone.
That's also the other point I should have made. You know, we were saying we haven't forgot about it. We might have forgot about it. I think we saw like 150 game trailers in like 4 days. Like, give us a break. Heroes and Villains, 4v4 online multiplayer game. And select your character, enter the arena, where you and your teammates will compete against 4 rivals to bank the most Wumpa fruit in the drop-off zone. Sounds like an arena game. Yeah, like an arena multiplayer game, 4v4. I am going to guess. Adjusting for this, carry the 1. Adjust for the Crash nostalgia. 70 again. Well, Fantasy Critic would class as 0 points. Neil Poit.
67.
Oh, wait. I put that in the wrong place. 67. Cool. I'm not going to play it, so I'm just going to watch the reviews for it, but it's an interesting idea to like make a Crash Bandicoot online multiplayer game.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, no. That's one game series I never played. I should fix that at some point. But yeah, that was OpenCritic Head-To-Head. That was what's going on next week. That was an entire podcast about the summer of gaming. We did it.
People, we did it, people.
Nice. I like the energy. We're going to get out of here because I need to cool this room down somehow.
I need to
do nothing. You're still on holiday.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm still on holiday. So are you.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do, actually. Install Diablo and call you later. Be like, is it Diablo time?
It's Diablo time. You hit me up.
Hell,
because the good thing is, all I have to do is I can sit on the couch and just move my microphone over.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I got it. For the streams, just for context for people watching, for the streams, because his couch is on the other side of his desk, we had to move his microphone from one side of the desk to the other side of the desk. And then when we were dismantling it, what you realized was you preferred it on that side of the desk. And now it reaches the couch.
Oh, yeah.
So you can even play games and be on the mic. You could even stream games from there if you wanted to.
I wanted to, yeah, because the camera will reach the TV and watch
That was the other thing we did.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So you're going to get to see, next Pokemon game, you're going to get to see Moody sat on a couch playing.
I've never played a Pokemon game ever again on stream.
Although, the next time you do it, just zoom in. Just remember that I'm not there. You can zoom in. But yeah, that's going to do it for episode, whatever. I didn't look it up and I forgot what Moody said. 356, I think, of the Words About Games podcast. Please stay hydrated and stay as cool as possible. It is not nice out here.
Games.
But also enjoy the video games.
Because it's a great time. We've got some exciting things coming when it comes to games. So be awesome. Have a great weekend and stay safe.
Yeah, that's a good place to end it. So I'm going to say bye. Moody's going to say whatever he wants to say.
Live long and prosper.
I like it. Oh. Hand's picking up. I've got a very
dirty hand?
No, it's like I've got a very distinct handprint.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Bye.